we supposed to do? Okay? The Supreme Court's not helping us. No one's helping us. Only us can help us.
Okay.
Only we can do it. So then they started pepper spraying and macing everybody. That's what we're doing. We're fighting back.
And what's the point? What's the end game?
What's the point?
Yeah.
We're losing our freedoms. What do you mean, what's the point?
Hello, everyone. This is Jim Hoft at Gateway Pundit, and I'm with Bart Shively today. So anyway, I think you have an amazing story. I think it's another one of these shocking stories that Americans just wouldn't believe that this is all happening.
I was in the Marine Corps back in 85 through 89. Obviously, as you've seen on TV, the cancer that Marines and the citizens were getting through water. I actually have cancer because of that. I was diagnosed last year with non-Hodgkin lymphoma. I was about to be treated through the VA when they put me in jail. The judge knew I had cancer and was going to start treatment the next day, but she still put me in jail.
So that was Camp Lejeune, is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
And that's where you believe you contracted that cancer.
The judge's name that I had at the time was Colleen Kotler Cattell.
She threw you in jail despite the fact that you were going to start cancer treatments in the coming days.
Yes.
So what have they done for you since that time?
Well, it took 4 months to get my cancer treatment started, which the delay really hurt me because I was at stage 3/4 in my cancer. They started chemo. I did chemo from the end of August until the beginning of December. So I did 18 weeks, 6 treatments, 3 weeks apart in the DC Gulag. Anybody that knows cancer treatments knows how hard it is to go through that chemo. And I was in here, so it was very difficult for me to adjust to that because I've never had chemo or I've never been in jail before, for that matter. So it was very difficult to adjust. But I had situations in here while I was going through chemo that were life-threatening. Situation with Ronald McAbee when he was assaulted. I was part of that situation. I tried to help him because he's my friend, and I stood up for him because he was being assaulted by the officers in here. And they put me in the hole with 4 other gentlemen in here. And during that time, I was doing my treatment, my cancer treatment. That week, I had just gotten treated, and I got very sick. So they took me, I was in the hole. So they took me to medical. But the medical here it's really bad. It's non-existent, basically. So through that process, they put me in they didn't really help me. I told them I needed medical help, but they put me in a suicide watch room. I don't know why. I just needed medical help. But they left me there for 36 hours without anybody talking to me. No medical help. No nothing. Bang on the door. I'd ask for help. I was so sick I could hardly stand up. And they wouldn't even come acknowledge the fact that I was in that room. So one day, it was like 10 o'clock at night. I couldn't take it anymore. I was so sick, I thought I was going to die. I was banging on the door, and one of the COs came over to me and said, what's your problem? And I'm like, I'm sick. I need help. I'm not suicidal. And he looks at my chart, and he goes, oh, man, you're not suicidal. So he went and talked to the doctor, and the doctor said, you can go back to your unit, which is in the hole. So I went right back into the hole with no medical help. A day later, they had to take me out to the emergency room at the VA because I was so sick. I was at the VA for probably 10 hours with some IVs, some IVs in me, and they brought me back to the jail, put me back in normal. Kangaroo courted me, basically told me I was guilty and I had no way to fight it, so I had to either capitulate and sign the paperwork to get out of the hole, or I would still be in the hole. So it was life or death for me at that time. So I signed the paperwork, and they brought me back to the pod. And that was a very scary moment for me at that time. The officer that was in charge that day has since been fired for misconduct.
It just sounds like such a nightmare, and it's shocking that that's going on in our country today.
I got sick a couple times with fever. I was vomiting. It's cancer. I had cancer, so I was vomiting. I was sick. I got fever, the chills. I mean, there was times in here where I thought I was going to die. There was no medical in here. Let me tell your listeners, honestly, I'm not lying. This is not an exaggeration. Medical in here is non-existent. It is non-existent. There is no medical treatment in here. I had 4 weeks of radiation. The doctor told me that they gave me the strongest dose of radiation they could give legally to a patient. And I had that for 4 weeks straight. Every day I would go outside medical, the VA. They actually cooked me so bad with radiation that it underneath, I don't know if you know about radiation, but it cooks you. It's like a microwave. So underneath my skin was all inflamed, and it popped up through my skin and cracked my skin open, and I was bleeding through my skin. I had mucus and pus and stuff like that was coming through my wound. By the end of the day, my t-shirt was soaked with blood and just gooky yellow stuff. And I was supposed to get 5 weeks. I only got 4 weeks because I was cooked. They cooked me. I was over radiated. I think that when people see somebody in orange outfit, they think of you as less than human. Like you're a throwaway. You're expendable because you've obviously done something to violate the rules and norms and morals of the society, and you get treated differently. It was very painful, and it being in.
You have 1 minute remaining.
There's nothing that they can do for you here as far as medical goes for that. So I was just suffering, you just suffer. That's what you do here in this gulag. There's nothing, they don't do anything to help you in any way. It's just, you suffer. And that's just the way it is.
There's not like a pain treatment or anything like that. They're not giving you a lot of medication for pain or anything.
No, not at all.
Oh my God, that sounds absolutely horrific.
We had a change of judge. My last judge, Colleen Collier-Cattell, she did something illegal in my case, and my lawyer exploited it, and we got her to recuse herself after the 4th time of asking her, and she did it in Latin, which is, arrogant. But she recused herself. I lost everything when I came to prison because my lawyer told me that I wasn't going to be coming to prison. She was just going to, reprimand me and send me back home. So she didn't do that. I wasn't prepared to come to prison. I didn't have any preparations at home for my dogs, my therapy dogs, my BTS therapy dogs. I didn't have any, preparation for my home, my stuff in my home. So when I came down to D.C. and she stuck me in jail, I lost everything. I lost my home. I lost my stuff in my house. My dogs were taken away. And since one of my dogs passed away, so I'll be lucky if I even see my other dog again. But I've lost everything. Everything is gone. So when I get out, I'm trying not to be homeless.
That was my friend Bart Shively. Very good guy, patriot, and somebody that we can all look up to. A very gentle and kind soul, and he needs your help. He is currently living in Pennsylvania all by himself and has nobody and no family to help him through his chemotherapy. Unfortunately, when he got out of prison, he was re-diagnosed with lymphoma of a more aggressive type than originally thought, and he's going to have to go through bone marrow transplant surgery. Now, this is a very aggressive treatment, and we are looking for people that can lend their support to Bart Shively. Now, Mr. Shively is an American patriot and will go down in history as one of the great American true patriots who stood up for the American dream. He served his country as a Marine and was diagnosed with cancer because of his time serving at Camp Lejeune. We're looking for people that can lend their support to help Bart Shively during this time of trials and tribulations in his life. Now, we want to be able to give him the support that he needs, whether it's through prayers, through books, through financial means, or preferably if you live in the Pennsylvania area and can check up on him and provide any type of caretaking services while he's going through this very, very aggressive and painful surgery, that would be a huge help for him. Mr. Shively has no family members to take care of him, only his dogs and himself. And unfortunately, because his friends that are Jan 6ers like myself, the current terms and conditions of our imprisonment, many of us who would love to help him are unable to be there for him. Like I said, he has no family to take care of him. It's only himself. So that's why we rely on people like you, the American people, to stand up and show their support for a true American patriot. Do what you can. It's worth it, and it's the right thing to do. God bless you, and God bless America.
Only us can help us.
Okay.
Only we can do it.